Many students? All right. Now, on Friday, we had done something about strategic planning. I hope everybody recalls what we have done. Today, we are going to see external environment. What is external environment? And how are we going to analyze the external environment? All right. Okay. One moment. I'm just opening my screen to the external environment. One moment. Today, what is the issue I'm facing? Yes. Okay. To a quick review, 5 minutes review, what we had done on Friday so that you get a link of today's lecture. A quick review. We saw what is a business environment. All right. Then we saw what is the importance of business environment. This is what we have done on Friday. For those students who have joined today, I'm just telling you, on Friday we did business environment, a quick review of 5 minutes. Then we saw the definition of business environment, two definitions we have seen. Then we have seen a flow chart about the components of business environment. They are made up of the internal environment and external environment. All right. So we are going to focus more on the external environment, which is made up of micro environment, also called as task or operating environment, and the other is macro environment, which is also called as general or remote employment environment. Sorry. Then I've just shown you the key diagram over here. You see in the blue, we see the micro environment, which has four components: political, environmental, social, and technological. And then we have the red one, which is the micro environment. The components are stakeholders, competitors, suppliers, intermediaries, and consumers. And the third one, we have the internal environment. The components are employees, cash flow, capital assets, materials, and structures. Then we have the SWOT diagram, like the internal and the external environment are linked. So we have the strengths, we have the weaknesses, we have the opportunities, we have the threats, and then we have from all this we get the SWOT summary, like capitalize strengths, mitigate weaknesses, exploit operations, and avoid threats. Mitigate means how will you overcome the weaknesses. Then we saw the factors of the internal environment. We have to have control over the factors such as the value systems, the vision, mission, and objectives, management structures and nature, internal power relationship, human resource, and company image. Then we have the external environment: political, economic, social, technological, environmental, and competitive environment. I've just shown you this again. They all are interlinked. Then the decision making process or the business decisions are dependent upon the internal as well as the external environment. Now just see, the company has to deal with all competitive forces, demographic forces, economic forces, natural forces, technological forces, political forces, and cultural forces. All right. Now, what happens is in the internal environment of the organization can be taken care of. We are dealing more with the external environment. Now, let's see the external environment analysis. How do we study the external environment? The external analysis can help the businesses adapt to a change, very important, adapt to a change, and streamline their current products, to fit the needs of their customer base better. All right, what are we doing is we are adapting to a change. We are welcoming a change, and we are manufacturing the products or streamlining the current products in a such a way that the products satisfy the needs of the customers. Secondly, regardless of whether you are a business owner or a finance professional, conducting an external analysis can help guide your company to success. So, whatever profession you are, if you study the external analysis accurately and properly, it will help your company for further growth. Then, what is external analysis? External analysis is also called as environmental analysis. Is the process by which the businesses objectively assess, or other word, study the changes in their industry and the broader world. Broader world, you can say the global world also. I'll put, or you can say globally. Globally, that would affect the current business operations. Companies do this to ensure that they can that they can adapt to changes and continue to succeed within an industry. So whenever we talk about external analysis or the environmental analysis, please remember we need to talk about adaptability to change. Secondly, now what is environmental appraisal? This is in context to environmental analysis. There are numerous factors that affect the organization and its operations. Now, these factors can influence the organization in positive as well as the negative ways. Identify the issues and challenges existing in the internal environment, right? The issues and challenges, what we talk about, the threats, if you do a SWOT, external, existing in the external environment is extremely important for an organization. In order to identify the factors in the in external environment, an appraisal process of the industry's environment is necessary. An appraisal process. For example, you are working in the organization, and at the end of the accounting year, you have your performance appraisal. Appraisal means either your designation is going to rise and your salary bracket is going to rise. So that is an appraisal process. All right. So similarly, when we are studying the factors of the business, we are trying to study the industry's environment with the help of the appraisal process. Environmental appraisal facilitates the managers with the ability to study competitive structure. Now, when we are doing different methods, we'll see what is a competitive structure and competitive position of the organization along with the position of the competitors. Now, when we are doing an environmental appraisal, we are also looking at our competitive structure. Simultaneously, we are looking at the competitive structure and the competitive position of the competitors also. So we are studying both. Now, levels, components of environmental appraisal. Now, what are they? What are the components of environmental appraisal? All right. First of all, we will analyze the external environment of the business. The marketeers are able to identify and highlight the opportunities. See, we are highlighting the opportunities from the threats. So we are now studying the difference between, or there is a small line of difference between opportunities and threats, strength from weakness. So first of all, we are having these four parameters. Then the factors which are not dependent on the organization and their existence is not based on the activities of the organization are called as external factors. So they are totally out of the organization. While strengths and weaknesses are internal, right? Strength and weaknesses are internal. Opportunities and threats, sorry, got a bad throat. Opportunities and threats are external and they're not in control of the organization. Are you getting? Strengths and weaknesses are in the internal. They are in the internal of the organization, while opportunities and threats are external. Now, opportunities are those situations that the organization can use to their advantages, right? Okay, opportunities can be used to their advantages, while threats are those negative situations that, if not tackled properly, can, I think I've repeated this on Friday, if not tackled properly, can harm the organization. Now, analyzing the external environment requires environmental scanning, industry analysis, and competitive analysis. So, the external environment will be studied on these three components or parameters. Now, let's see the first one, environmental scanning. Now, what does the environmental scanning tell us? All right. Environmental scanning tells us about the broad environmental factors that are analyzed in study. Now, these factors, as I said, they are not the part of the organizations. Okay, any factors which are related to the organization, they can be controlled. They can be modified as per the internal environment of the organization. But there are certain factors which are outside the environment, they are in the external environment, hence they cannot be controlled. So they are called as controllable in nature. Now, how these factors are going to affect the business? These factors influence the business in a significant manner. These factors are a part of micro environment or the general environment, or we can say the of course micro environment or general. The common micro environment factors are economic, political, legal, technological, and social. Now let's see, I'm just highlighting you and then we're going to do in detail. Industry analysis. What is industry analysis? Are you all understanding? Are you all understanding?
Yes,
Yes?
ma'am.
Yeah? Sakshi?
Ishika, ma'am.
Ishika? Yeah, Ishika? I made the language a little bit simpler comparatively to the
Yes.
first lecture. Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah? Okay. And you had given me the feedback. So it was very nice regarding the language I had used. All right. Industry analysis. The industry analysis is a tool which is used to assess or study the degree of competition. See, competition is there. All right. Like example, if I tell you, okay, you have scored A plus, all right, we know that you have scored of A plus. But in that A plus, what is your percentage? Because the percentage may vary from 80 to 90, isn't it? Yeah. So in A plus, are you getting 80%? Are you getting 83%? Or are you getting 90%? So we know the competition, right? But what is the degree of competition? How we are going to measure this? And the complexities. Complexity means whatever, I'll write in simple language, whatever difficulties, we come across. Whatever difficulties we come across, all right? Now, with the help of industry analysis, the marketeers study and scrutinize. Scrutinize means analyze, study the macro environmental factors that influence a particular industry. Industrial analysis helps the strategic leaders to formulate, that is, to make various strategies, right? Various strategies to neutralize. What is the meaning of neutralize? I have written to take care of the threats. If you have a competitor who is going to create a threat, now see, we have festival time, right? The competitors may come up with a different product, very much like your product, but he is giving at a low price. So how are you going to tackle that price factor? To take care of the threats and reap the benefits from the opportunities. Various environmental factors to be studied in the industry analysis are very important. Bargaining power of the buyers, right? The buyers are going to bargain from The manufacturers and the suppliers and the customers are going to bargain from the shopkeepers, right? We go now, we bargain. Then how much they can bargain? Position of the business and the competitors and the threats of the new entrants means newcomers. Entrants means newcomers, okay? Newcomers in the business, as well as the substitutes within the industry. What is the meaning of substitute? Like we can substitute tea with coffee, we can substitute thumbs up with Coca-Cola. That is the substitutes. Any difficulty up till here? Anything from here? Yes? Anything which you have not followed? Now let's talk about competitive analysis. While appraising the external environment, it is very important to analyze the strength and the weaknesses of the existing and probable competitors, sorry. Probable means which are existing, which are there. It helps the organization to formulate the strategies. Now, why the strategies have to be formulated? Because every business needs to survive and succeed in the highly competitive market. It also outlines or studies the strategies adopted by the competitors, right? It is taking care of, the business is taking care of self also, and side by side, it is trying to study the competitors. The influence of competition is directly proportional to the degree of concentration in the industry. Now, what does this sentence mean, right? If the concentration of the industry is high, the influence of competition is high and vice versa. So, the meaning of this point is that the competitive analysis will help the organization to identify threats and opportunities by providing defensive, one minute, I'll add one more word, defensive and and offensive strategies. Now, what is defensive and offensive? You will protect yourself also, all right, and you will attack also. Now, attack means you not take something and attack. Yeah, attacking is in terms of business and your rules and regulations. By providing defensive and offensive strategies, you will try to save your industries from the threat. By side, you will try to encash or you will try to make use of the opportunities. See here how it happens. We have the procedure of environmental appraisal. First of all, try to understand the nature of the environment. We are talking about the external environment, macro environment. Then we analyze the past influences of the environmental factors. What had happened in the past? If such a situation had come, how did the company survive? Or what offensive and defensive strategies did the company make? Then identify critical competitive forces. This is related to our competitors. Then analyze the strategic position and identify the opportunities and threats. I'll tell you, in USA, when Coca-Cola is similar to Pepsi, yeah, but the sale of Coca-Cola was comparatively low than that of Pepsi. Then they made a case study. They studied the root cause analysis of this. Then what did they do? What did they see? That Pepsi has those vending machines on each and every corner of the road, right? That gave Pepsi a competitive edge in USA to increase their sales. Then understanding nature of environment. Before starting the environmental appraisal, the strategist must understand the nature, that is volatile. Volatility means how fast it changed. How fast can the external environment change? All right. How fast can it change? The volatility of the external environment. I'll just put this into bracket so that you will understand the meaning. The volatility here implies to changes in the environment. So to understand the nature of the environment, the strategic leaders need to answer the following questions. Is the environment stable or dynamic? Do you think the environment is always going to be stable? Is the business environment always stable? No, it keeps on changing. Okay, so it is dynamic. In which way does the environmental change? If it is dynamic, then in what way it is changing? And can these changes be identified, or are the changes identifiable, or I can say, can we study, I'll put it in better words, measure, can we measure the changes? All right. Okay. You followed this point? Did you follow this point? Then analyze the past influences of the environmental factors. What had happened in the past? Once the nature of the external environment is identified, the next step is to identify the factors that have influenced the performance of the organization in the past. Analyzing these factors will help in planning and formulating the strategies to handle the future scenarios. Means what will happen in future, the past influences will always guide us as to what strategies we need to formulate in the future. Then identify the critical competitive forces. Now, identifying the critical competitive forces, the next step is to identify the key competitive forces. Who are going to be your competitors? Existing forces existing within the industry with the help of structural analysis. We'll see what is structural analysis. Now, this step helps to analyze the organization's current position. Means this step will tell you where your organization is standing at the moment, the bargaining power of the buyers and the suppliers, the new entrants, the newcomers in the industry, and the existing competitors of the organization. Is it clear? Up till here, are you understanding? Please answer. Please answer. There are 44 of you all. None of them are answering today.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, what happened? Everybody's in the Ganpati mode. Hmm? All right. Now, analyzing the strategic position. In this step, the managers analyze the strategic position of the organization in relation to its competitors in terms of resources. Resources means how much land, how much money, how much raw material, how much capital. And here, resources of the customers means, do they have the purchasing power to buy? Is there a need? And do they have willingness to buy? Etc. To identify and analyze the strategic position of the organization, the following ways should be adopted: growth share analysis, attractiveness analysis, we'll see one by one point, strategic group analysis, all right, and study of market segments and market power, and we have competitive analysis. Now, I will just tell you in one moment. Please, one moment, just bear with me. I'm just opening another slide for you, not here. Some information. One moment, please. Now, what is growth analysis? All right, the growth analysis will tell us the factors which are helping the organization to grow, right? Growth and share analysis are those factors which will tell us how the growth is going on. For example, the growth of the Indian economy will be according to the population which is rising and the increasing GDP rates. All right. What will happen? What happens when the GDP rises? Right? What will happen if the GDP rises? The company will plan a strategy to give more value added services for the customers. Yes. Like, for example, this has happened with Tata Docomo when the GDP rise. All right, population of the youth is expanding, the GDP is rising. So Tata Docomo started focusing more on the internet services, giving more value addition services to the traditional customers. Now, what value added services they gave? They increased the talk time services, the SMS services. Then we have attractive analysis. Yeah, attractive analysis, what did they do? Okay, they're giving this value added to customers, right? In this strategy, the previous customers or the old customers were also retained, as well as new customers started joining them. So customers were retained and increased with the help of mobile apps, right? They gave them Wi-Fi portability. They gave them 4G based services. So what happens is in all these analysis, the firm should also try to gain more spectrums or more benefits for providing the support to new subscriptions, and they should also give them more innovation, more apps to pay their money for the payment. This is what is happening. So in growth analysis, attractive analysis, the existing customer is retained by giving them more value added services. Simultaneously, attractive analysis, they are trying to make more the phone more user friendly, the services more user friendly by giving them Wi-Fi connections, by giving them internet facilities. Then strategic group analysis means, in case of Tata Docomo, I'm talking, Tata Docomo had lots of competition from Airtel, that is Bharti Airtel, Vodafone, Idea, Reliance, Aircel. So what did they do? The competition was very high, right? Since the competition was very high, everyone had a fair chance of earning good profits, provided they gave something more value added services to the customers. So the firm in such situation needs to grow its customer base, yes, with the help of giving them even proper subscription rates. So what happens? The customer base increases and they got a more chance to increase their profit. Then we'll talk about marketing here. Okay, study of market segments. Now, what did Docomo do? It started collaborating with international market, right? They didn't want the subscription rate to fall down. They wanted the subscription rate to be as it is or to increase. So in order to control this, they did lots of tie-ups with international telecommunication companies. Like Tata Docomo did collaboration with NTT, NTT Docomo, and Navtex. Then some of the technologies they started using were SMSs that time. Then they have a route finder and email services and SMS services. Okay, this is just a small example. Then identify the opportunities and threats prevailing in the environment and formulate efficient strategies to reap the benefits from the opportunities so that threats can be neutralized. Neutralized means threats can be taken care. The selection of strategy and effective utilization of selected resources in an effective manner is crucial for this. There, let's see the levels. This is important now. The levels of environmental appraisal. While analyzing the environment, the strategist should remember to select those techniques only that match the needs of the organization. Now, techniques depending upon the needs of the organization means what type of organization you have, whether you are having a service sector, you are having a manufacturing sector, you are having an auto ancillary sector, you're having a pharma sector. There are many techniques for analyzing the environment. Now, let's see which are those. ETOP analysis, SWOT analysis, pest analysis, and we have the quest analysis. So these are the 4 techniques what we are going to see. The first technique, we have the ETOP analysis. Let's see. ETPO analysis is the technique used to structure the issues of the environment. Used to structure means, in other words, to study. To study the issues of the environment. Issues means the problems of the environment. This technique was given by Gluck. The ETPO categorizes different environment issues in various sectors, which in turn helps the management to focus their attention towards specific areas. Now, specific areas means in which area does the management needs to focus? Which area is a developing area? See, you should never say a weak area. Always remember a developing area. It helps in identifying the potential. Potential means the important factors. The important factors that influence the organization. First, right, we will study diagnosing means to study the external environment closely is very essential as it points out the opportunities and threats. While some of the factors create suitable circumstances, right, other factors will impose a threat. Impose means they will be threatful to us. ETOP and ETOP facilitates, that is helps. Facilitate means it helps us. It helps us in in-depth analysis of environmental factors that allows organizations to identify the potential operations, the potential operations, opportunities and threats. Okay, it will tell us about this. This results in more efficient strategic planning. An opportunity can be identified as a favorable situation that provides prospects for business to grow, expand, and make profits. Okay. Now, for example, an untapped market and address potential needs of customers. Your market is untapped. All right. Like we have never seen that market. Now we will see about this tapped market, untapped market when we study blue ocean strategy. And unaddressed potential. Unaddressed means the potential which was not taken care of, which was not seen. Need of customers, new technologies. Constraints are those factors that limit the ability to grow and reduce sales and profits. So here we studied 2 factors. All right. The factors which help us in understanding the opportunities and threats, and those factors which stop or limited, which stopped the growth of the organization, which reduced the sales and profits of the organization. A threat can be identified as an unfavorable situation. Unfavorable means which is not good for the organization, that restrains the growth and profits of an organization. So ETOP analysis helps us to study the opportunities and threats simultaneously. Also, the market which is still untapped, which nobody has really seen that market, and certain constraints that limit or that stop the growth of the company and reduce the sales and profits. Is it clear up till here? You will see the repetition of these words again and again in this topic, so don't get confused, please.
Okay,
Now,
ma'am.
for example, we will have new entrants. What is the meaning? Somebody else is coming into the market. Then the availability of substitutes at low cost. Can you name a substitute at a low cost? Right? For example, today you don't have money for coffee, so you're having tea. Now, how to do an ETPO preparation? To prepare ETOP of an organization, the strategists, first of all, need to classify the environment, all right? The environmental factors in specified categories, right? After which the impact of those factors can be analyzed. First is you identify the factors. Second, you study the impact. Impact means the effect of those factors, which can be analyzed. So I repeat, first is you study the environmental factors, and secondly, you will see the impact or the effect of those factors. Where it is, sorry. This categorization simplifies the overall analysis. All right. Now, when we have to prepare, we have to see which sector. Suppose if I take the economic sector, right? The first point, if I take the economic sector, I will do the analysis and I will do the strategic implications. I will formulate a strategy for that. Okay. Suppose if I take a product, name a product, name a product, please name a product, any product. Okay, we take cosmetics. All right. Cosmetics. See, there are different types of cosmetics in the market. So we will take cosmetics as a product. The first factor we are going to study is the economic factor, right? We analyze the economic factor. Then we do the strategic planning. Then we take the next factor, that is the social factor. We do the analysis of the social factor. Then we do a strategic planning for that social factor. Then we take is the political factor. Now we are studying all these factors for only one product, that is cosmetics. Then we take the political factor. Then we'll do the analysis, we'll study the political factor. And then we will study the strategic implementation. So what do we do? All this happens only after analyzing the environmental factor in specific categories. For example, I am writing here cosmetics as we took example of cosmetics. All right. All right. Okay. I'm adding one more slide for you to understand. Please pay attention. Okay. Now see, I'm writing. Okay, I'm not able to type here. Okay, fine. I will do this slide. Did you understand? We took cosmetic industry, then we are analyzing the first factor. Say, what did I tell you? We are studying the economic factor. After studying the economic factor, we are doing strategic planning for that economic factor. Second factor, we studied political factor. Then we will do analysis of the political factor, and then we'll study the strategic implementations of that factor. All right. Now, pest analysis. Pest. Okay. Now, PEST stands for political, economic, social, and technological analysis. It is one of the techniques. It is one of the techniques of environment appraisal, which provides a deep insight, right? Deep insight means it helps us to study in depth about the micro environmental factors that affect the business. The level of importance given to factors varies. Varies means it is different. It is different as per the industry. As per the industry, because industries are of different types. As per the industry in which a company works and the goods and services it deals with. Then some strategists have increased the scope of these techniques by adding two more factors. Now see, uh, two more factors which are there. We have the environmental and the legal factors. So this pest becomes pestle, right? So we have, see, initially we had political, economic, social, and technological. Then we added two more factors, environmental and legal factors. Hence, the extended version of this technique is known as pestle. This technique has another variant known as long pestle. First it was pest, then it became pestle, then it became long pestle. Now, what is the meaning of long pestle? Local, national, global, political, economical, social, and technological analysis. This technique is used when the organization are, very important, are classified as per the geographical basis. Geographical basis. All right, where is the base of the company? Whether it's in Asia, whether it's in Africa, whether it's on the North Pole, whether it's in the South Pole, whether it's in the American continent, whether it's in Australian continent. When these micro environmental factors are integrated with the external, integrated means they come together with the external micro environmental factors, then the analysis carried out is the SWOT analysis. Now we will see, right? We did ETOP, right? Then we came with pest analysis. Pest analysis is very important from the examination point of view. All right. So, what are the factors which are analyzed in the PET analysis? Political factors. Political factors are the laws, orders, and interventions. Interventions means what? Try to, when the government comes into picture, interventions made by the government in order to regulate the businesses. Right? These regulations influence the operations of business in a significant way. So all the policies, all the rules and the regulations which are made by the government. Then we have the economic factors. The economic factors are the current and the past patterns. Like, what were the past records that exist in the country? These factors encompass means, I will tell you here in literal, is to tell us, or okay, tell us the rate of economic growth, the inflation, exchange rates, average income, etc., which heavily influence the money circulation. Okay, how is the money? What is the circulation of money? Is there inflation? Is there stagflation? And hence regulate the business activities. Regulate means they control the business activities. Then we have the social factors. The social factors include all those factors that are related to general public, means a common person. All right, a common person. These factors are closely knitted. Knitted means closely. Knitted means they are closely associated with, with the consumption by public, which influences the gross demand of the products and services. These factors involve the rate of population growth, the literacy rate, employment, and public safety. And the last one is the technological factors. The technological factors are one of the prime means important factors. important factors that affect the business operations in the dynamic business environment, because a business environment can never be static, it can never be stationary, okay? It is always changing. These factors involve arrival of new technology in the market, automation of business processes, research and development of the and the new coming projects. I'll put here new projects and new projects. All right. So this is the pest analysis. Anything you would like to know? Anything from pest analysis, please? Anything? Then next is the SWOT analysis. Another well-known technique for analyzing the internal and external environment of business is the SWOT, or strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threat analysis. It is a simple tool that is helpful in studying the internal strengths and weaknesses, all right, and the external threats and opportunities of the company. SWOT analysis involves identifying the business objectives, right? What is the business objective? What is the aim of the organization? And defining the internal and external factors for achieving the identified objectives. See, goals are, on a daily basis also, but objectives is a long term. The aim of conducting a SWOT analysis helps the business in protecting itself against the threats and to exploit the potential. Exploit means to make use to, okay? To make use of the business opportunities which are outside. So the main aim of conducting a SWOT analysis is to help the business in protecting itself against the threats and to exploit the business opportunities. This analysis is essential for formulating strategies as it provides a base for strategy formulation. SWOT analysis helps in studying the overall soundness. Overall soundness means overall it studies the business. All right. Is it clear? Is it clear? So, 1 minute. Yes. So what can be the components of SWOT analysis? The first two letters in the acronym SWOT, that is S is for strength, W for weakness, refers to the internal factors that are the resources available in the organization. Okay, strength and weakness of the internal environment. Then these factors may impart strengths. Impart means give strengths which can be utilized to exploit the opportunities. So this strength can be used to exploit. Exploit means look at the opportunities and use them, or become a cause of weakness of strategic nature. So or become a cause of weakness of a strategic nature for the organization means what? Sometimes the strength can be used for opportunities, or the strength itself becomes a weakness. All right, itself becomes a weakness. So let's see. These are the factors that provide competitive advantage to the organization. I'm going to just take strengths and stop today. Competitive advantage to the organization. These factors collectively may allow an organization to bring a change in the organization. Okay, one thing, it can help to change the organization. Now, these factors can be different for different organizations because, as I said, the industry type may differ. These can be resources or skills. For example, presence in the global market and collaboration with reputed international firms. We can have tie-ups with internationally reputed manufacturers and exporters, experience in tooling selectively and metal cutting. I'm just giving you an example, okay? And manufacturers certified with ISO 901 certification. So this can be some strengths of the companies. Is it clear? Right? Is it clear? Anything you have not followed up till here? Anything you have not followed up till here? Please answer. Please answer. Please answer.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm just stopping today. Then we'll begin, and then I want to summarize this chapter once again. All right. I'm going to take the revision of these analysis again.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. All right. I'll stop. And as I say, anything you'll have, please come to the department and ask me. Okay? Chalo.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for joining today's lecture. And tomorrow being Ganesh Chaturthi, God bless you all and help you in your examinations and everything, and help you to get a good placements. All right? Chalo. Thank you for joining.
ma'am.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.